Hey everybody, it's Michael Osinski with This One Goes to 11. This week we are paying tribute to a friend that we lost this year. In September, our good friend Lavina Jadhwani lost her battle with ovarian cancer. She was a director, a playwright, an educator, an adapter, and most importantly, she was the 7th guest to appear on this very podcast. We're not going to go through a huge list of all her accomplishments because it is a very, very huge list. She made some significant contributions to the Chicago theater community, the Minneapolis theater community, the American theater community at large, one might say. I first met her when we were both in the MFA directing program at the theater school at DePaul University, which is a 3-year program. So because she joined the program the year after I started, we had 2 years of overlap. And I don't know if you've ever been through an MFA directing program or, grad school in any way, shape, or form. It is difficult. And she and I definitely helped each other make it through those years and the stress that was associated with that. We found lots of different ways to de-stress, to connect various pop culture obsessions that we had over time. And also, I don't know if you remember, there was that brief phase when everyone was making those Bitmojis on Facebook, back when Facebook was a thing. We're talking like the 2010s, y'all. But we would, make those for each other. We would also, in the office, because all the MFA directors at DePaul, we had this office that we shared. And there was a computer in there that we shared. And we would keep changing the background image of the computer so that we would look to leave messages for each other or to decide what sort of cute animal would be dominating the imagery on our computer that all 6 of us shared for however amount of time it ended up being. And we had an obsession with Trader Joe's and just snacks in general, especially peanut butter based snacks. But Trader Joe's was the main venue for our snack obsession, because when you're in grad school, you need something to obsess about that is not the work that you're doing, so that you can actually be a sane human being every once in a while. I will admit that after grad school, I didn't stay as connected to Lavina as I wanted to, and I wish I had, because I know there are so many people in her life who she made such a difference in their lives, and she was just such a light to the Chicagoland area. And I regret not keeping up that connection as strongly as I probably should have. Considering all we had survived through our grad school experience, it would have made sense. But I do miss her, and in a way, the way I've decided that I'd like to remember her, I went back and listened to her episode in season 2 when she nominated the Dil Chahta Hai soundtrack, our first Bollywood soundtrack, first of 2, only 2 thus far. And I found a clip from that episode that I think best captures the spirit of the conversation, her perspective on life, on pop culture, on the Olympics, on figure skating in particular. Do we talk about the soundtrack in the episode? Yeah, of course we do. Do we in this clip? Yeah, a little bit, but we go on some tangents as well. But I just think that this little bit from the conversation is the way that I want to remember her. So go ahead and take a listen to a bit of our conversation.
Were you, had you heard, you said most of your, the way you're introduced to music was through soundtracks. Had you heard of this soundtrack first or seen the movie first?
I feel confident that I saw the movie first, but I also wanted to double back to soundtracks for a second because, Michael Osinski, you are a person who every now and then will not let me forget that Tanya Harding skated to the Jurassic Park soundtrack in the Olympic Games. And that was also part of my experience with, my connection to, the Bodyguard soundtrack was played often at my ice skating rink.
You are correct, and I feel the whole world should remember that Tanya Harding did in fact skate to that. I think that the reason,
and then she broke her lace.
Yeah, well,
we don't have time. We don't have time.
It's a whole other conversation. But I think it's, the thing that I'm so fascinated about soundtracks is that, first of all, yes, we are all theater artists, and I could tell stories about all the songs that I've listened to and formed complete music videos for in my brain as I listen to them. Like the idea that I feel like there's always a narrative underneath music, even if it doesn't belong in, if it's not part of a movie soundtrack. But also, like look at, I mean, this, I can't believe we're talking about Jurassic Park now, but look at that music that was iconic for that movie, but because it has, if your initial association with the Jurassic Park soundtrack was Tanya Harding figure skating, you'd have an entirely different understanding of that music. I mean, because
And you know,
it's or if your first exposure to it was seeing that YouTube clip where it changes into someone playing on like a recorder or a
The
kazoo
melodica, yeah.
or like a melodica, on a melodica,
Yeah.
That's some of the YouTube's best stuff. That's prime.
And it's one of the things that, all right, so if we are to, I haven't yet figured out, I think one of the reasons I only pitched you all Bollywood movie soundtracks because, you know, I sat next to Ian Frank in directing seminar. I know how to skew a pitch. But I think I am still figuring out, like, you know, okay, I think there are, is this a useful place to start? Here are a couple ingredients that I think have to be in the perfect Bollywood soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a useful place to start?
Sure, yeah, why not? Go for it.
Useful. We can go any direction and we can go back again.
Well, and also like let's figure this out together because I'd love to like. Here's a couple of things that I think have to be in there.
Pause. You get points for what you've done so far.
Oh,
and you need
I
points.
forgot about the points.
Yeah.
I forgot about the points.
I forgot about the points too.
Validation. This is great.
Yes. Okay. So this is clear. This is clear so far. This is personal. So I'm going to give you one Laura Dern.
Fantastic.
Raising herself out of the Jeep.
Great, love it.
For Jurassic Park. So one Laura Dern for you.
This took a turn for a Hindi movie. All right.
One Laura Dern would be great in a Hindi movie though.
Yeah,
she'd
great.
One Laura Dern, and then you get let's get one Laura Dern and two Tanya Hardings, just because we should just keep that going.
I don't know. I feel like instead of two Tanya Hardings, I feel like we should give her two Yamaguchis because I feel like
I was like, do you want to see my autographed Yamaguchi? I'll put it in. I'll bring it for the photo.
Bless you. All right, you get two Yamaguchis. One Laura Dern, two Yamaguchis.
You know what? Because she could have had 2 gold medals. I maintain that. That woman could have had 2 gold medals. She could have had 92 and 94 if she wanted. Anyway,
you're my go-to gal for this sort of thing. You're the one providing me with all of this figure skating and important figure skating content. Hey y'all, Tyler here. That was very vlogger of me, wasn't it? But that's okay. I think the topic today will make up for that. So, as you've heard from Michael, I've struggled a little bit with how to approach this particular mini-sode. Michael and I've shared with you this week, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay. As you've heard from Michael, we lost a dear friend this fall. Lavina Jadhwani was a theater maker and a writer whom Michael and I came to know during our time at the theater school at DePaul University, as you might have heard of it. The first show of hers I ever saw was a production of Sondheim's Assassins. She was primarily a theater director by trade, and she directed this production in a studio space at TTS. And it was just so good. It was just such a good show. Had some really excellent acting in it, some really excellent actors. Was well designed. There was so much care behind it, and it was a really solid production of that show. A very good show too, just good taste, right? And it was fitting that a musical was the first Jadhwani joint I ever saw, because music would be a core pillar of the friendship I was lucky enough to share with her for the last 11 years. Whether we were catching a mutual friend's show on a snowy winter's night in Chicago, or trading late night texts about the questionable application of a Radiohead cover in a moody Netflix drama, Lavina always had a keen ear. But keen not only for the underlying structural beauty of music, but also for the truth of it, how it captured something beyond what human language alone can express. She was an unendingly generous storyteller, a font of wisdom and care, and I just felt really, truly lucky to be her friend. Lavina was the first person in my age cohort of my sphere to fight cancer, and seeing her do so was... it was simultaneously inspiring and heartbreaking. and I'm sure this is a feeling that a lot of people experience when they lose somebody, but she was just really brave, and she never, there was never any self-pity that felt like it was out of line. And there was just this strength that she had through the process, and but candor also about what she was feeling, that it was just really admirable and impressive. And I so admire her for how she moved through this. So I've sat here for a long time trying to make sense of the fact that I won't see her again in this life. And there's no sense in it. Someone who managed to make me feel as though I was seen and loved in a profound way, and who also managed to make a staggering amount of other people feel that way as well. It doesn't make any sense that person's not around anymore. And it makes me sad. But I'm grateful for the sadness, because I know what it means is that she's still with me in some way. So I've truly enjoyed sharing my love for Lavina with the community of people that has come together to celebrate her. Honestly, such a great group of people, sterling group. And I admire Lavina even more for having connected such a group of people. So, okay, my recommendation as a tribute to her would be to tell all of you to go watch a Bollywood movie, if you can, when you can, because you can. Maybe Dil Chhata Hai, which was the soundtrack which Lavina nominated for consideration on her episode of this podcast. There's tons of options. You just go and find something that strikes your fancy. And I'm happy to talk recommendations specifically with whoever wants them. Hit me in the comments. But Lavina introduced me to all manner of art, not just film, but not just theater, but written work, novels, poems, visual art. She had wonderful taste, and especially for us non-Indian descended Americans, I think some of the movies that she shared with me would be very impactful for you. So, and then go see a play too, because theater was at her core, and I certainly intend to push myself to see more theater to honor her memory. And most importantly, I guess here's the crux of it, is I do think that this experience has inspired me to remind you, to encourage you to check in on your friends and family proactively. And it's something that I'm trying to tell myself to do as well, because Lavina was the master at that. She was proactive in her communication, and it was a gift to be the receiver of that. I aspire to that level of intention and discipline about it. You never know. You just never know when someone could really use the moment of feeling thought of. That much is clear. So I think I'm going to leave you with that, and I will maybe just leave you with this one last. I'll end it with this. I'll miss you, Lavina, and I love you very much. Until next week, everybody. Have a great one.